The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, boys and girls? How are you? Welcome into a Monday episode of the Bostonian versus the Book, a national championship edition of BVB. He's Dave Sherapan. I'm Matt Peralta. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book, the same on Twitter, X, and replayed every single night on Sports Grid Television and on Sirius XM channel 159. Good weekend, Dave. Lots of good things to get into. How are you on this Monday?
Oh, great. All good. Yeah, this is officially, I don't know. I was down and saw Stuckey this weekend, and he called yesterday the worst sports day ever, second behind the day of the All-Star break when there's nothing.
Really?
Yeah. This is the beginning of the summer. This is the beginning of the, whatever the calendar is. There's no more college sports, basketball, meaning until college football. So it's college football.
See, I have a hard time with that because
they go nothing else in between. And
I
I'm
know,
like,
but if that's right. There's
so many things.
Freaking Masters week. What do you mean? This is like, hold on a second. Like,
I know
there's plenty of weeks that are way worse and Sundays that are way worse than the Sunday after the Final Four. And I get it. If you bet primarily college athletics, you have kind of the College World Series left, but that's not really all that interesting until August when you get really into college football. So I get that. But I don't know. I mean, I watch a lot of sports between now and then. I bet a lot of sports between now and then. I'm not ready to give up on everything and go, it stinks.
I know.
It's good. I don't know. We have a championship game tonight. We have Masters starting on Thursday. NBA playoffs. I mean, the regular season's about to wrap in the NBA. NHL's got about, NBA's got 4 to 5 games left. The NHL's got about 6 to 7 games left. And then we get into the playoffs. It's not bad.
I don't know. I think it's getting good. I mean, there's moments as seasons come to an end and, records get broken, things get set, things happen. I don't know. You get right before the most meaningful part of the season.
Your team's alive next weekend.
Can't wait to watch that.
I mean, Penn State's in the Frozen Four for the first time. So we got that going on. Yeah, the Derby's in 3 weeks, the Kentucky Derby. I mean, Masters week, then the Kentucky Derby. Then we get into the Preakness. And I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff on tap.
A lot of Breeders' Cup prep races all summer that, might be, pertinent to people. I'm just saying those things can happen.
That's called a tease, boys and girls.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
Never know. Yeah. The show might turn into a horse show.
Not a horse guy, but
it might be a horse show, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this might be a horse show.
I am not, though, saying anything nice about the NFL draft.
You don't want Derek Brown on the show? D-Bro could come on and give us a whole breakdown of everything that's happening in the draft.
I would love it. I will have no questions for D-Bro. I will have no insight into the lines.
He wants to come on the show.
Like
He's been asking me to come on BVB. He wants to make his debut appearance, and I was like, all right.
He's booked.
It's
me and you. I had a couple people booked today. We had a couple things come up this morning.
Okay.
I got text this morning. Hey, I'm sorry, can't come on today.
No worries.
And it's like, okay, listen, we're gonna do the show. That's fine. Are we a horse show now? No.
But we will have maybe a little more. We might have a little more than you think in the coming future. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for as Pat says, it's up to something season. We've got some stuff going on.
We'll see.
Got some stuff going on.
Horse stuff.
Yeah.
We saw that horse track in Kentucky, and it sparked some discussions, and people saw us, and
we are not an NFL draft show.
We can unequivocally answer that question, Nikki. No, we are not. No.
And It's funny. Okay, so answer this question because I was on a conference call this morning and this was brought up, and I'm actually curious your thoughts. In comparison to a Sunday night baseball game, like last night, Red Sox playing on Sunday night against the Cardinals.
Scored 18.
They did. More on that later. What is the handle for the NFL draft in comparison to a game like that? Standalone Sunday night baseball game. What's the NFL draft handle in Vegas look like?
Oh, if you have a significant market, like, or markets, menus, the draft blows it away.
Okay.
Sunday night baseball game?
I'm just saying, I don't know how many people are really betting the draft. I think it was a fun thing in the beginning. And then I think there's a lot of speculation. I think there's a lot of interest in draft betting. I just don't know how many people are actually betting the draft.
Oh, I said this for years. Yeah, this was great fodder to talk about on shows that talk about betting, which, again, we are a show that talks about betting, but we are not just a show that talks about betting. And for those of you that like the show, subscribe to the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button right here on the YouTube. Please just do that for us. Yeah, the draft betting stuff is,
because you and I fought about this because I wanted it legal in Vegas for a long time.
Yeah.
And so then I've now done, I don't know, 4 years of draft betting content.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people are more interested.
5?
Well, I will, but I think more people, it's such a one-off thing. Like, it's got the same interest as like a baseball game does tonight. Like, I don't feel like people literally, like, I've been watching the Jackson Dart, but it's a running joke between Debro and I that I've been watching the Jackson Dart market because him and I here in Vegas, when I met him for the first time, we were going over all of the things he had heard down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. And I was like, Jackson Dart's going to go in the first round, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, is he going to go in the top 15? And he's like, I don't know. It just depends upon where who trades up, who trades down, but he very well could wind up going in the top 15. He's like, I bet his draft prop is going to be somewhere over under 21.5. Well, it's 20.5 in most books. Like, he was right on with Jackson Dart. So I've been watching like 1 or 2 players that I want to get involved with, but like, people aren't clamoring for those types of bets, like how many wide receivers are going in the first round, how many running backs are going in the first round. Like, there are football draft gurus, but they aren't gamblers. Like, people who really die with the draft are more fantasy football players and DFS players. They aren't really gamblers. Do you know what I mean?
Know exactly what you mean. I stood on a table in a risk room in a book here in Vegas and said, don't offer it. They looked at me like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I said, you're making up these numbers. There's nothing we can do to get bets on the other side.
And this is the bottom line. It is, Vinny, you're right. It's so hard to make money on betting
for
the draft.
Everybody, except
it's hard.
If you get information before, all right, the people who would want to bet on the NFL draft and feel they have a real edge should not be able to.
I think they should be able to, but I think it's a good point
they
about
should open
inside.
A book. That's what they first should do. They should open a book and shade all their lines and let people bet them. That's what they should do, because it's not enough volume to risk all of the risk that you have. Pay attention to what you have to pay attention to. Yeah. Put it up if you want to take real handle on it weeks before the actual draft. Like, I don't know. I mean, put it up the week of. Leave it
there's
up.
No future, right?
Days, and then
there's no future market
on Wednesday.
Well, that's the thing. In Vegas, it's a whole mess. Yeah, in Vegas, it's a headache and a half because people want to bet on Thursday morning and they're like, sorry, you can't. Like, what do you mean, sorry, I can't? It shuts off Wednesday at midnight. Huh? Why? That's ridiculous. Well, it's house rules. Sorry. It's Nevada gaming rules as to when the draft gets shut off. But, you can bet on DraftKings and FanDuel and other books all the way up until the draft, sometimes actually in the draft. Last year, DraftKings let you bet during the draft. You could bet it live on DraftKings.
That's crazy. Yeah. I got to give them credit for that. I mean, they do a lot of things and people will bash them. And I haven't looked today at their stock, but not a lot of stocks are doing good today, period.
Up.
DraftKings stock is up.
Good for them. I got an email. It's up. Yeah.
Oh, congrats. That's good. Them taking draft bets during the draft, that's some major couillons right there. That's some big ones.
At what? $50, $100 a pop? I mean, Limits are going to be.
Well, I don't know.
Low on that
I
stuff.
have no idea. I just know that, like, with a game, you have anything can happen.
Yorkie, what are you doing?
DraftKings rocks.
What are you doing?
Yorkie, it does. There you go. Listen, keep that other thing in your back pocket. So,
inside joke.
You can see a game like you saw Saturday night. You can think you have all the best numbers, all the best information, all the things, and you can have this game won, and then the game, something happens and you lose. The book will book anything like that.
Yeah. You can run around and say you have $1 million coming to you guaranteed, and then you double down on Duke because you think Duke's going to win, and then you lose $1.1 million on Duke. Whoops.
Right. But you can't do that in the draft.
No.
Once somebody finds out that Cam Ward is going to be the first draft pick,
He will be.
ain't nobody betting the other side.
1, 2, 3 is done. I fully believe that this will be the only draft.
1, 2, 3 is done.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 is done. Patriots probably drafting 4, taking the lineman from LSU. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4 is already done as well. So, Giants are going to take Carter. The Giants are they think they got the next Lawrence Taylor. So they're taking him second
at 2.
At 2, and then Hunter's going 3.
2.
Who do you call it? Why am I blanking? Who has the 3rd pick in the draft? First is Titans. Second is Giants. 3rd is
Cleveland.
Yes. Yeah. And then Patriots will take the kid from LSU, the lineman. So, well, Brown.
Ask the chat. You guys are all here, and again,
no, sorry, thank you. Browns at flip that. Browns is the second pick. Yeah, they're taking. Right. So it's either going to be Giants are going to take either Ward or whoever's available 3rd. That's the order. I think there's going to be trades, but I think the order is set. I think it's Ward, Carter, and then it's going to be Hunter. The order might move. You could see trades with teams coming up to go get somebody, but I think that's the order that we're going to have. Patriots want Ward to if somehow that Hunter fell, would be huge for the Patriots. I think they actually do want to take Travis Hunter, but I think that's and Carter would be amazing if he would somehow to slip, but highly unlikely those things are going to happen. So, I want them to trade down, Nikki. To be honest with you, I want the Patriots to trade down. Offensive lineman in this draft is a deep draft. Go get a lineman. Go get somebody at 15, 16, 17. Like, don't pay them as much as you got to pay them in the top 5. If you miss in the top 5, if you miss with a lineman, that's a huge whiff. I'd much rather whiff at 17 than 4 in terms of where the Patriots are.
So there's Nick Tom just put it in there with his Calvin and Hobbes emoji right there, or avatar. Titans, Browns, Giants, Pats. Will that order stay the same?
No. I don't.
Somebody's trading something. Somebody's flipping something.
Yes. I think someone's going to come up. I think the Patriots could trade out. I think the Patriots, Vrabel doesn't want to be Belichick, but he's Belichick. I think he'll trade out and go, what's the point of having a 4? You could go get linemen later in the draft. There's guys there that are as good. You don't need to compensate and pay as much. And then, the offensive line, the Patriots have spent so much money on the defense. This is all offense in the draft, and it should be all offensive line to protect Drake May. Just build the wall, get guys to come in. They've already added 2 offensive linemen. Go get more and help Drake May. And then get a running back, in day 2. Go get a back, or go get a couple of backs in day 2. So, yes, they traded Milton to the Dallas Cowboys, which Patriot fans aren't really happy about, but
we've already talked about the draft more right now than I wanted to talk about, period. Before the draft.
Fine.
Let's talk about what happened this weekend.
Okay. Ovechkin passed the great one for the most goals all time. 895 was scored on a power play, which is not a big shock considering how Ovechkin's been there. Did you watch much of the game?
I did. I watched the entire first and second period.
Didn't it feel like they were nervous? Like they were trying. Nobody wanted to score but Ovechkin. Like they just wanted him to score. And it was really awkward because I felt like Washington was so damn tight in that game. They went down 2-0 really fast, just fell asleep, 2 goals right in front of the net, bang, bang, 2-0 Islanders. And then it was like, I looked all morning for a no market to bet no on Ovechkin to score. Scored in the second period. Got one done. 2-1.
Did you see the no market?
No one put it up.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
And I was on Sports Grid with Joe Ranieri talking about it because I think it's a huge indictment in the industry that not one book wanted to put up a no market. I would have lost, but nobody wanted to put the no market up that he was not going to score because they play Thursday at home. And it would have been way more fun to do it at home because stopping the game for 35 minutes to bring Gretzky and company down and his family down onto the ice on the road. It was awkward as hell. It was a weird deal all the way around.
You didn't
I
like
felt
that?
they played a damn tribute video in the Islanders building for Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. Like, that's not right. Like, I mean, stop the game and acknowledge it, but to stop and do a whole damn ceremony, do it in Washington on Thursday when you get back. Like, I thought the whole thing was just
Well, they're
like,
going to do
cut
a
it out.
ceremony. They'll do something when he comes back.
You
can't control when the goal is
the
scored.
integrity of the game is what everyone talks about, right? You want to talk about screwing the integrity of the game? Let's stop it in halfway through the second period and make everybody stop and go through a handshake line and like give everyone hugs and Ovechkin's wife and his kids and everyone's on the ice. They roll out a carpet for everyone to stand there and take pictures and flowers. Like, what the hell is going on? That was really weird.
It was strange because there was half the game left to be played.
Right.
But it's a local trip for the commissioner.
Right.
In the commissioner's office, everybody just shot, probably took a limo down, went to the game. Let's thank Ovi, and now we don't have to go to Washington. That's good.
Right.
Everybody goes home. That's awesome.
Similarities,
Wayne and Janet looked great. I
The
can't believe. I
similarities?
don't know. Was Wayne got plugs? Well, what did he do with the hair? It's phenomenal. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah, probably.
Janet, thanks for coming. That was great. Talked about Gordie Howe being there for Gretzky when he did it. So Gretzky being there for Ovi when he did it. I don't know. I was glad he did it.
Yeah.
It was only minus 130 in the morning that he would score.
It's
a goal.
115 overnight.
Yeah. Well,
It's
everybody
cheap.
bet it. And
I bet
somebody
third
in the
period.
chat said, I think Jackoff said in the chat here that Mason had it minus 156 that he would score. So people bet it. I think there was interest. Stopping the game for longer than 10 minutes or 15 minutes is definitely awkward. Like it like, let's recognize it. It's history. But like Pete Rose broke the hit record on the road, I believe.
Okay.
And they went like, congrats. Way to
Yeah,
go. Get his
on the-
bat.
On the jumbo strung,
And-
right.
and-
They had him get naked. He had to take his jersey off. He took his gear off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So now there's two jerseys he wore for the record breaking. The one he wore for the record and one he wore after the record.
Right.
So both those things are going to be highly valuable someday and auctioned off somewhere.
Yeah.
The similarities between him and Gretzky were wild, though. They both broke the record against the Islanders. That's weird.
Yep.
Both Howe and Gretzky held the record for 31 years. That's
wow.
crazy. And then they both did it in 1,487 games. Like, that's unbelievable. Those three things together,
yeah.
that parlay is ridiculous for the record. Like, that's an eerie stuff right there.
Yeah, it is. It's inexplicable. Sports are just weird sometimes.
Yep.
Right? Numbers and things just line up perfectly.
I agree. What?
Yeah.
It's bizarre. That is way too, like, eerily similar that they did it in the same number of games and the record was held 31 years. If it holds true, I'll see it in like 2050, whatever. For
Pete Rose broke it at home, 9/11/85. Thanks, Johnny Parlay.
Okay.
But I mean, the guys came out of the dugout and said thanks,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
that was it. And it just seemed like a lot of talking for that yesterday. That was a long time.
Oh, it was absolutely way too long.
Yeah.
The differences between the two guys, which is wild because they both did it in 1487. Gretzky averaged 20.7 goals per season from age 32 on. Ovechkin has averaged 42.1 goals per year from 32 on.
Yeah.
I mean, just like two vastly different careers in terms of how the goals were scored.
Oh, and I mean, Gretzky's early years in Edmonton were the numbers were just so out of, I don't even know, out of this world does it justice. I don't even know how to describe them, but like getting 200 points was like nothing, and getting 70 to 80 goals in a season was nothing.
Mhm.
Whereas now, I mean, it's really hard. So, and what Ovechkin's been able to do, I mean, he did it, and he's still doing it, like physically, playing a different game.
Well, he's third in the NHL this year in goals scored after breaking his leg, by the way. He fractured his leg. He wasn't supposed to play this year.
Right.
He's third. So that's the question. At 39, should he go for 1,000? 105 goals away. He's 39.
I mean, only he can answer that if he wants to keep playing. I mean, he got to be like Yager and play until he's mid-40s. He ain't going to score 40 goals a year for the next 3 years.
Well, he's got 40 now.
I know, but there's going to be a drop-off, I would think.
When? He hasn't shown any signs of it. Like, when's the drop-off? As you mentioned, Yager played into his 40s. Why can't
if he's able to maintain his health, and I mean, he broke his leg and he came back. So the guy got to be bionic, like whatever.
Right. He wants to end his career in Moscow, his hometown team. He said he wants to play 1 season in Russia before he's done. So, but that wouldn't be counting towards the NHL. So, like, he's got 1 year left on his contract in Washington. So, do they give him an extension, or do they give him, if they give him 2 more years, he probably has a shot at it, at scoring 105, because he's got games left this year. So he could get 896, 897, 898, somewhere in that range. So he might only need 100. So 30 a year, or 30, a little over 30 a year for 3 years, you might be able to get it.
35 a year is 105.
Right. But he might be shorter than that. By the end of this year, he may score a couple more goals to drop it down. So maybe he only would need 32, 33 a year to get there. And on power plays,
Gretzky played in an era without pandemics and lockouts. Ovechkin lost 2 seasons of his prime to them.
Fair.
Wow.
Good point. Fair. It's a good point. I wonder. I don't think he gives a crap about 1,000. I don't think he'll go for it, but it would be wild. I mean, even Gretzky said it, like, he didn't think anybody would break his record, and now he doesn't think anybody will break Ovechkin's record. He's like, that thing's not getting touched. Like, no one's touching that.
No.
So, you're getting put up on the shelf, and go after it, guys. Best of luck to you. How long you have to play? Hard.
We talked about it. I did this show in Philly on Sunday with Billy and Nikki Earnshaw, and they had a good question on. I wanted to ask you guys.
Yep.
What sports record will never be broken again? Obviously, this one. Nobody's scoring.
Ripken.
That one was one of the top choices. Ripken's games played.
Ripken will never be touched. Nobody will ever do that.
Will there be another 300 game winner ever in baseball?
Yeah, I think that there will be. I think down the line, but I also think that we've now devalued wins. We now know what that stat is. That stat means nothing. It's the most irrelevant stat in all of sports. It means, you can give up 8 runs and still get a win. It means nothing. So I don't think that number, even though, will there ever be another one? Yeah, I think there will be, but I think it's very insignificant to me in terms of pitchers in baseball and all of stats in baseball. I think hits are far more, important. I think ERA for pitchers, somebody give me a sub-1 ERA for a year, something like that. That would be really wild to see from a Major League Baseball perspective. Dominance, strikeouts, those types of things are all important for baseball. Hits and home runs, obviously, batting average. I don't think we're going to see a 400 hitter in baseball again. I think that those days are gone.
Yeah, probably.
For a 400. Ricky Henderson stolen bases. I don't know, Nick. Have you seen the size of the second base now? It's enormous. Like, it's getting ridiculous.
Somebody has to decide, though, to do that. Like, somebody has to. I mean, you can't do it as a peripheral. Like,
no,
you have to decide. Like, yeah, but Ellie's hitting and doing, like, Ricky's thing was getting on base and stealing a base every time. Like, he literally had 130 stolen bases in his season. How is that possible? When you watch the game played now, I try to remember it as a kid going, did he go every time he got on first base?
Pretty much.
I mean, and he was safe so many times between walks and hits. I have to look back in the year when he had 130 steals. How many hits did he have? 210? And then another, 80 walks? I don't know.
It looks weird, right? Can we all admit that it's a little bit weird? It's enormous. The base is huge. Like, I know what they're trying to do with first base and second base. I know what they're trying to, for player safety and whatnot, but it's like they can't throw over. Jared Duran's going to steal as many bases as he wants this year. Like the guy, like he just needs to name a number. Whatever number he wants to steal this year for the Red Sox, he's going to steal. It's just, you can't, when a guy is incredibly fast. Shohei Ohtani, same thing. Name the number. How many steals does Ohtani want? Like if you're fast and you have a long stride, the bag is enormous. Like it's enormous.
Like pizza boxes.
They are. They're enormous. Like they're at you're right. They're enormous. Like I feel bad for catchers and second basemen and shortstops, because it's like, how the hell do you hold somebody on? Like how the hell do you get somebody out?
Right.
Like it's really difficult to do that. Like so I don't know. I think stolen base records, that's going to start to fall. And yeah, Ricky would steal second and third. Correct. He would. In this world, who knows how many stolen bases Ricky Henderson would have? I mean, my God. Like with these rules, holy mother. Like he would put a number up that would be, see you later on that.
Yeah.
All right, guys are arguing this in the chat. We can get into it now. Duke gets completely embarrassed by Houston. 11-1 run, 1 field goal over the final 10 minutes of action for Duke. And they lose by 3 in a game that they all but had won in the second half, up by 14.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
I was watching it in the book at the Westgate. The whole room was partying and up in the first half. Everybody was happy. And I was sitting with like Stuckey and Rexy and a couple other guys, Billy and Scott, like these guys were everybody. This little pocket all had Houston. There wasn't much talking. Everybody was like, man, can't stop them. And then all of a sudden they did. For 10 minutes, nothing was happening. Everything started to build, and the place was silent. There wasn't nobody cheering. Everybody was like gasping like looking at the screen going, what is going on right now? Why can't they make a basket? And then down 6, get the 3, get the steal.
They scored 9 points in 33 seconds. They scored the last 9 points of the game in 33 seconds of actual gameplay.
I can't remember a Final Four game where that happened like that. I really can't. I mean, if you guys can, put it in the chat. But we were watching it. It was fantastic if you had Houston, or if you're a Duke hater, which a lot of people are.
How about
Look
Nick
at
Tom?
that. Nick Tom got Houston at 20-1, 55-1, and 80-1.
Thing of beauty.
I mean, that is
Thing
artwork.
of beauty.
That is.
I mean, it
artwork.
was. So I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, we're looking at. I tweeted it out. I was like, okay, so this is going to be 16 consecutive straight up wins for favorites. And I said, barring an unbelievable comeback, this is now 16 consecutive teams that have been favored to win the game outright. And I was like, we haven't had a magical game yet. We've had great like teams that were tested. Like Florida got tested against UConn. Florida got tested against Texas Tech. Florida got tested against Auburn. We've seen those teams have to fight and claw and figure out a way to win, but they won. Like they didn't lose. We hadn't seen a team put both hands around their neck and squeeze and lose. So even while that was happening, I was like, man, this is going to be wild. Like Duke's going to win, but Houston's going to cover the 5.5. This is great because I had Houston plus 5.5. So like, all right, this is great. I sprinkled money line because I thought Houston would win the game. My bracket is Florida and Houston, and I thought that's who would win the game because I thought Houston's toughness was going to really be a problem. And it was late. It wasn't early. We'll get to the game tonight in a second, but that's why I think tonight could be interesting because Florida's got the depth to keep the pace up. Duke couldn't keep the pace up. They got tired. And so their legs went. And so once the legs went, Houston was like, we rope-a-doped you. We got you. And we took the blows that you gave us, and now you're punch drunk, and now you're exhausted, and it's our turn. And it felt like a Rocky movie to me with the way that they just came back And it hit shot after shot after shot. And every time a three went down, you felt like the energy in the video game for Duke went down, down, down. And their body language was like, oh no, we're in trouble.
Yeah. And I don't know if there was one specific thing other than making a basket that Duke could have done. But as you're watching it and you realize, like, they've closed this gap, they've got this thing, and now I don't know. I ran into somebody yesterday, and and Frank, if you're watching, first thing he said was, "Man, the refs really cost them the game." I said, "Hold on, they didn't score for 10 minutes." Like,
so he's mad about the over the back call, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I understand the point, and I actually will listen to the point, because I thought the refereeing in both games, I thought Florida was getting hosed consistently. I thought every call went Auburn's way. Every 50-50 call went Auburn. Florida got the short end of the stick there. However, the referee who called the over the back on flag against Roberts was behind the two guys. And so you can literally see Roberts getting pulled backwards by flag. Like, he absolutely pulled him. But given what was happening in the game and how much contact had happened when you watched it from the front and not from the back, it was a different story. It looked a lot less egregious. So I get why the referee made the call. It was a foul. Do I think the call should have been made? No, I don't think that call should have been made. But he still went to the free throw line as a 62% free throw shooter and hit them both. Like, that's a kid, according to Kelvin Sampson, has shot 150 free throws every single day since the last NCAA tournament when he couldn't hit the free throw to save his life. Now he comes in for the two biggest of his life as a sixth-year senior, having to hit two shots in front of thousands, millions on TV, and he buried them both. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like, that's poetry. That's sports right there. That's why we watch, for moments just like that. So I know why Duke fans are angry. Could the call have been avoided? Maybe, but was it a foul? Yeah, it was a foul. He pulled on him. But in relation to the whole game, I get why Duke fans are angry.
I don't know. I mean, then they had the opportunity to win it at the end.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. At the end of all of this calamity, at the end of all the stuff that happened, right? The not scoring, the rebound, the turning the ball over, the 3-point shots that Houston was hitting off the turnovers, which was crazy. It was 3 press, turnover, 3, all of that. You still had the ball in the hands of the AP National Player of the Year, the first overall pick in the NBA draft, had the ball in his hands with the game to win.
Yep.
And he left it short. I mean, he left it short.
Just a shot. So I don't know. That's sports. That's why you play the games. That's why you watch the games. If you bet on them, you could. I mean, if you're holding the -4 ticket, -4.5 ticket, you're watching it going, I'm toast. They keep doing. I'm toast.
I agree with Nikki here on this.
Nikki Ciramello, I thought Shire totally mismanaged the game after the tech on Houston for reaching over the baseline to go up 6. I think a lot of people take that, Nikki.
I thought the game was over. I said game over. And then the 3 by flag in the corner, I said game. They went up by 9 in that moment. That was a 3-pointer in the corner, up by 9 with 3 minutes to play. Game over.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. That was the last field goal that Duke hit all game. It was the first one that they had hit in 6 minutes. They hit 1 field goal over the last 10 minutes of action. And that was Duke not having legs. They were tired. I mean, I think they were not used to being in close games. Duke had the largest margin of victory of any team in college basketball. They killed everybody. Houston almost lost to Purdue. Had to come down to the final week. Just last week, had almost lost to Purdue.
They had did lose at Arizona State, or they did lose like games that they were supposed to win, right? I mean, they were in battles in the Big 12 all year season, especially the road games. So there's something to be said for that, battle tested, all of that in the high pressure environment.
Men, by the way, don't forget, Houston is a bunch of men. Those are 18-year-old kids on Duke's team. Roberts is 24, okay? These are men. These are guys who have been in college for 6 years, been around the game for a long time. Different level of energy, different level of intensity and physicality when you play Houston. 18-year-old kids, you had 2 18-year-old kids playing big minutes for Duke. That's experience. Been there before. Belief, just kept, keep on chopping, right? Hey, we're never out of it. We're never out of it. Keep on going. Keep on going. They thought the game was over. Duke was celebrating. We'll see you Monday night. Uh-oh. Wait, whoops. What do you mean? Game isn't over?
It's impressive the way they kept playing defense. They kept fighting for rebounds. There was no quit, and they never really stopped believing that they were going to win the game. Like, they kept playing.
Yeah.
It's Houston. What's Stanford Steve stay on Sports Center? You sign up for 40. You sign up for 60. Whatever the amount of time in the game
40.
is.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah, so in this, it's 40. It was a battle.
They're playing.
It was a fight.
And so Florida was down 8 at the half to Auburn.
Yeah.
But much like Houston, Florida has rallied and Florida has won every tight, close game that they need.
This is like a script. Like, in the kids, again, if you're watching the show, we appreciate it. A lot of the kids and people in the space, and when I say kids, I mean anyone under 50. Like, it just, I just say that not as a derogatory term. I just call everybody kid. But the kids that say, like, the sports are scripted, the Duke-Houston game wasn't scripted. You couldn't come up with a script to have all those people play all those parts, miss the shots, the referee make the calls, the kid hit the free throws, and Houston to win. So as much as the books needed Duke to lose, and you guys all lost on that, you had a good 2-week run picking all the games right. Everybody relax. This game played exactly as the script was written, right? Like, if you're going to talk about a game being scripted, guess what? Auburn comes out. They trade blows early. Auburn's kicking their ass right before the half. Up 8. You knew what was coming.
Walter Clayton Jr. was coming. That boy is unfreaking believable.
Man.
First player since Larry Bird to have an Elite 8 and Final 4 performance of 30 or more points. That was 1979, the last time we saw that. In Elite 8 and Final 4 with the Sycamores for Indiana State. Walter Clayton Jr. did it for Florida in back-to-back games, and they needed.
Who did it for Indiana State?
Larry Bird.
Oh, that guy?
That guy.
He was pretty good.
Pretty good. That guy's pretty good. Yeah, that guy.
Wow.
And they needed every second of it. They needed every minute of it in both games. Like, they had to do. It's not that Walter Clayton Jr.'s got the cojones to take the shot. It's the kid flipping hits it. It's not that he takes it. He hits it every time they need it. Every time they have to have a 3. Every time they need the big shot, the kid hits it. Like, he is as clutch as I have seen in this tournament. I was racking my brain going, who's been more clutch for a top team in college basketball that when you need a shot, you give the ball to him and the kid hits it. And like, you're actually like surprised if he misses it because he's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
People say that kid's not a pro. What are you talking about? That kid's a pro. He's an NBA guard. Like, he's so damn good.
Sonic the Wrench just posted this. You don't have to put this up on the screen, but I'm going to read it right now because it looks like it's, I don't know if this is an Urban Dictionary definition, but you referenced the word cojones. And cojones refers to both the plural of the Spanish word cajon, meaning box or drawer, and the slang term for testicles or courage.
Yes.
It's pretty strong. I mean, just in case anybody's watching in other parts of the world, which apparently they are on the YouTube channel, cojones, big ones. Woo, baby.
And tonight, okay, so that takes us to tonight.
-1.
Here's the issue. This is my entire question. Florida is very loose with the basketball, and they turned the ball over against Auburn a ton. And that's why Auburn had the 8-point lead in the first half. In the second half, they stopped turning the basketball over. But at the end of the game, you saw the press. And Richard didn't know what the hell to do with the basketball. And it just got really hairy there for Florida late because they couldn't handle the pressure from Auburn. The pressure they're going to see tonight from Houston is, like the more I have thought about this, the more that the day has gone on, I have a 10-1 ticket on Florida. Okay. I haven't taken Houston yet, but I'm starting to talk myself into Houston winning this game tonight.
I have a Houston 8-1 ticket. Just been talking. I mean, you guys have been watching the show and listening. Matt has been on Florida. I've just been saying for months, I think Houston's the best team. And I've been talking about the time we saw them here at that tournament. I just literally was 5 feet from every one of them when they came out of that room to go play their game. And I watched. And I left so impressed from the walk out of the meeting room to the floor, and then watched them play the first half and came home and did Sports Grid and went, that's a pro team. Like men. Yeah. Grown up men.
Yeah. But so is Florida.
True.
The difference is Florida is filled up with fourth and fifth year seniors too. Walter Clayton Jr. started at Iona with Rick Pitino. It's a 4-year player. These guys, the difference between Duke and Houston or Duke and Florida is that Florida, one, is deeper and way older than Duke, way more experience than Duke. They've been here. They are battle tested. They know what they're going to see. They have gone through the gauntlet and played tough physical basketball teams. Houston's on a different level, but that's why I think Houston in the first half is a good bet tonight. Because I do think it's going to take Florida some time to adjust to what they're going to see out of Houston.
Right.
But I think Florida has the talent to get the bigs like Roberts in foul trouble. I can't wait to see how this game is called tonight.
Well, that's going to determine the game.
Yeah.
That's 100% going to determine the game. I just don't think you really need to watch the game. Watch the game the way it's called. Watch the way the game is called, and then maybe make a move or a play. Like it's pick 'em. Half the books are pick 'em right now. So, and the total's coming down. When they asked me on Saturday, we were sitting there. I said, make it pick. Let them bet you one side or the other.
Okay.
And 140 was my total. So. Pretty close, still got it, but I'm a little biased just because I think, Florida have they been in a game like this with anybody?
Yeah. They play Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good analogy. Analogous. I'm trying to think of teams that Florida's played that would.
Yeah. In the SEC, they face teams as good.
Effort.
I said the same thing going into the Duke game for Houston. I'll say the same thing here tonight. It all comes down to the 3-point shooting for Houston. If Houston hits their threes, and what they did before half against Duke was so huge, they hit 4 straight threes. They went 4 for 4 in the final 5 minutes of that first half against Duke. That changed everything. That got that lead down to a much more manageable lead. They weren't getting destroyed, and they felt good about themselves going into half to come one out offensively. And then they hit the shots, obviously, late in the game. They hit a bunch of big threes as well. If they hit threes tonight, I think they beat Florida because defensively, Florida's going to have a tough time getting the shots they're used to getting. In the first half, you know what Sampson's going to do. Anybody but Walter Clayton Jr. is going to beat Houston tonight.
Right.
You got to get somebody else to step up. And it's got to be Richard. It's got to be somebody else. Has to be a major factor offensively for this Florida offense early. And then late, it's Clayton Jr. time for him in the second half to take over. So that's the script, I think, from a Florida perspective, if they're going to win. But for Houston, hit their threes, they win this game tonight.
It's going to be a fun watch. I think settle in and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much the home court and, being in
I don't know
San
either.
Antonio,
It's a great point because there's a lot of Florida people I've talked to. There's a lot of Florida fans who are there. So who did Duke sell their tickets to is my question. Who did Duke sell the tickets to?
Absolutely need a poll. Good call, Marcella, on who wins this basketball game tonight. Just who wins. We'll get it here up in a second. Addison, thanks for the super chat. Thanks to BVB's up 35 units tonight, no matter who wins.
Ooh, hello.
Look at that.
I love that. That's all
That's outstanding. Yeah, it is going to be a great game, Chicago, John.
Do you think at any point in this game one or the other team will be up by 6 or more points.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest lead of the game by one of the teams is going to be 6 points or more. Absolutely. You don't think so?
I don't know. I hope
it's
so.
2 threes in a row.
I mean, I hope so. I hope that we get that because I'm going to take Houston for 3 units and I want plus 110 or better. I don't want 105. I don't want minus 110. I want Houston at plus, 115, 110 to come in, take 3-4 units on it. I got 10 with Florida. I'm going to take Houston in game and then just sit back and, I'm going to bet first half. I'm not touching the total. I'm not touching the total.
Right.
I think the total is right. I said 78-73 Florida. That was my prediction 3 weeks ago, and I'm not going to change it.
Wait, say that again. It's what?
I said 78-73 Florida over Houston.
73. That's 151.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Think it's that high?
If Florida wins, yes. Yeah, Florida's going to win. I mean, but if it's the other way around, okay, if it's not, if it's going to be Houston to win, it'll be 66-64.
Right.
It'll be low.
Right.
It'll be 140. It's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be a lot with the refs, a lot of pressure on the refs. I mean, this is Todd Golden's coming out party. He wins this. The whole country will know who Todd Golden is after tonight. But I do think there'll be more Houston fans in the building in San Antonio than Florida fans.
Right.
So that's going to be fun. Wow. Chicago, you're getting very specific here, Kristen. We're going 8 to 12 point lead. Houston will come back and it'll be a 1-point game going into halftime.
Wow. So Florida gets out to a quick lead and then Houston comes back. I'm worried for Houston's inability to come back if they get down like that.
Right.
And, Florida keeps the margin 6 to 8 to 6 to 8 to 4 to 6 and keeps that lead up.
Well, again, it's the pace. Why did Duke go up big? Duke went up big because they were able to push tempo and they made Houston play their brand, right? Yeah. That's why they got tired, because Houston can run all day long. I watched a highlight video of what Kelvin Sampson does. He basically does the Oklahoma drill at practice. He rolls the ball out and tells the guys to go get it, and there's no rules and there's no out of bounds. The whole entire gym, you fight anywhere where to fight to get the ball. It's the most intense practice I've ever seen in college basketball. They should have pads on. They literally should have pads on. Wow. So they're unbelievable. Like what they do, the toughness is taught. It is not learned. It's not something they just came into it. They are taught that level of toughness. They are taught how to fight. So for Florida, they got to match that. But if they can match it and push tempo, Florida's not going to get tired because they go 9 deep. And they've got 9 legitimate players. They can run guys off the bench. They can hit big shots and can play. So that's what Duke did not have. Florida has it. So that, I think, could be a big, big advantage coming up in the second half for Florida, just with their legs, because Duke lost it.
What's the early indications?
Yes. Oklahoma drill is the football version of that.
Yeah. Line up two mats, say
2 linemen,
one and a
2 running backs.
Linebacker
meet. It's a linebacker drill to meet the running back in the hole.
Yeah, lineman and a lineman just battle. And I mean, when you see that in the NFL level up close, that is
they can't really do it much anymore. Like, it shows our age.
My goodness.
Oklahoma drill has been somewhat outlawed in the NFL. But yes, I remember I went to training camp for the Chiefs. What year was it? Probably 2006, 2007, somewhere in that range, in Wisconsin. And I remember watching the Oklahoma drill, and I was like, "Oh, this is different at this level.
Yeah.
These guys are killing each other."
I will never forget the first time I saw it from, I was holding the shot sheet, and the cameraman we were 5 feet away from it, and I went home that night and said, "I don't know how these guys do it." They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Watch the news tonight. We're gonna show edited highlights of the Oklahoma drill." And I just was amazed at the sound, the speed, and they were literally going to kill each other. They had pads on. They were going to kill each other. It was, wow.
They want to do, right?
In hockey, like you felt like you had the boards, you had more pads on, you this, that.
Yeah.
Like the football thing was just different. It was, I don't know.
Crack of the bat, the pads and the helmet for sure. So would you go over or under tonight if you were going to bet it?
Under.
Under 141?
I like the game under. Yeah. I think I think the winning team gets 70, maybe. Like, it's going to be like 70 to 67, somewhere in that neighborhood again. It's going to be right around what we just saw with the Florida game. I mean, with the game Saturday night. So I don't think Houston, and again, I'm biased because I got that Houston ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And
will you hedge?
Well, I mean, I'm on call, so I'm gonna be sitting there watching it, waiting. I'm probably gonna do a little Florida before the game, but then, I might be doing both sides again. And this, knowing you got one side where you're gonna make a little bit of a score, you don't have to do too much. But if it goes south, I'm gonna make something for my time. But I'm not hedging like half.
See, because I've already made 5 units on Houston in this tournament. So Houston's already won me 5 units. So now I have a 10-1 on Florida. And so like a part of me wants to just let it ride and see if I could somehow pull the rabbit out and get Florida to win and take all 10 units. But I know better, and I know I need to take something for my time. So that's why I was thinking about taking it at 3, taking 3 units and putting it down on Houston. But the more that I think about this, the more that I'm leaning towards Houston winning the game. And I'm like, goodness gracious, because defense travels and quick turnaround. It's hard to prepare for Auburn and then Houston in 3 days. Like that's really a hard, 2-game set to get into.
It will be a super impressive win if Florida's able to do this because they went through the gauntlet that is the SEC. They won the SEC tournament, right?
Yeah.
They've been down. It looked like a couple times they were out. Like they were just going to lose. And they've able to do it. I mean, there's guys, Vinny Ferrari said, Vic says, let it ride. I mean, everybody can say let it ride until you got it.
Right.
You go, man,
I bought it 2 months ago. It's like it's been sitting here for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit there and go, I don't want to be kicking myself at the end saying you thought Houston, because I feel like Houston's going to win the game. Like I really like Florida. I have thought Florida all year. This is the classic gambler, dilemma, right? I've been Florida. I've been right the entire time. I've been betting it. I've been riding it. I've been making money on the Duke and Florida money line parlay. I knew better to pull out of that in the Final Four because I liked Houston. So I bet Houston money line. I bet Houston plus 5.5. I laid the 2.5 with Florida. I went 3-0 in the Final Four, and I'm sitting on a 10-1 ticket after riding money line Houston the entire tournament. Now I'm sitting here with a 10-1 ticket on Florida, and I'm like, I like Houston. This sucks. I don't want to like Houston. I want Florida to win because I want the full 10 units. But I'm beginning to go like, I don't know. It's SEC versus this level of defense.
I don't know. Again, you work all this time to put yourself in this position. I hate just letting it go and gambling. I mean, that's gambling, but I mean, you're ahead. You're not this, that. Everybody's got a different, methodology.
Yeah.
If you had a 40-1 ticket, and you had a shot at like Kelly in Vegas has a dime at 40-1.
Right.
So she's going $40,000.
Right.
You got to bet Houston.
Yeah.
Like you can't, make 5 dimes or make 35 dimes. Like, like that's fine. You win 5 times your money or investment or whatever, and then or win 7 times your money. What's wrong with that? So it just depends on what you want to do. I think the in-game opportunity is going to be great.
Profit is profit. I'm with you 100%. And you can sit back and you can kick your heels up. I'm just debating on how much do I want to cut into the profit.
Right.
Like I'm just being greedy. Like I'm going to bet Houston. There's no debate. I'm going to bet Houston. The question is, how much am I going to bet Houston?
Right.
And at what number am I going to bet Houston? Because I don't want minus 110. I don't want even plus 105 last night. I don't want.
You're going to have to shop because you ain't getting. I mean, it's -1. Florida -1 right now, which correlates to even money.
Yeah, I want plus.
So
it was 105.
wow,
Was the best I
minus
saw.
105.
Yeah.
When the hell did -1 become? Wow. Okay. I guess that's what it is now. -115, -105. You ain't getting no even money. There ain't no even money anywhere.
No, it was 105 last night. I could have gotten offshore. So, I mean, like, it was there, but that was the best I saw on the planet was plus 105.
Wow.
And I was like, do I want to take this now or do I want to wait and see if Florida gets off to a fast start and I could get like a 120, 130, 140 and come back and, lay 3 to win 4 or to 3.5 to win more than 3 units coming back. And so I feel, I make 4 or 5, units. That's really my target is to wick. I want to clear 5 units tonight. That's my goal. No matter who wins, I want to clear 5 units.
There you go.
So that's what I'm trying to figure the math out with all of this as to like, when do I fire? And everyone's like, do this, hedge that, parlay this, parlay that. Someone today was like, take Houston between 1 and 10 and it's plus 180. And I was like, yeah, here's the problem. The Houston wins by 11 and you lose both bets. I lose the future and I lose that bet. So like, no, that's not a hedge. I can't do that. That's not a real hedge. That's I can lose it both. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's a little more gamble.
Like, yeah, I'm not trying to gamble. Right. I'm trying to get myself out of gambling personally, not having to gamble this game. So there's going to be a ton of opportunity. That's what I feel too, Nikki, that I think like, and okay, let me ask you this. If we're going to bet this live, is it better to take, and you mentioned you might do this because you have Houston 8-1. Is it better to take, in my situation, Houston pre-flop, knowing that I'm going to be betting plus on both sides, that it doesn't matter what happens in game. I know that I'm going to be fine because of the pregame bets.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Well, it's a plan. You can't plan for how the game's going to go. I mean, you can have a plan in place, but if Florida gets out to an 8-2 lead,
right,
the game's going to go from pick or Florida -1 to Florida -5 or 5.5 or 6, and you're going to be able to take plus 280.
That's what I'm after. That's exactly what I'm after.
So like but you have to be available to do that right then. But if Houston gets out to a lead, and at least you have the pregame betted pick, and now Houston's up 6, and Houston's -300, you're not going to have an opportunity.
Can't bet it.
You're not going to have an opportunity.
Right.
You're going to feel like a complete chooch laying $3.
No.
If you didn't lay the pregame pick-up.
Not doing it. I'll just eat the unit. I'll just eat the 1 unit with Florida. I mean, be like, fine.
Right. So I think you owe it to yourself to, at least for the unit, lay the 105 so you don't lose nothing.
Right.
And then, or double it. Start with double. So you lay, 210 to win 2, 2.1 to win 2 units. So you have you've doubled your investment there.
But I'm losing 1, so it's clearing 1 unit because I'm giving up 1 unit on Florida.
You're making the money.
So it's 1 unit. I'll be up 1 unit of the whole thing, which is fine.
No matter what. Like
the tournament's been very good. I've had a very, very good tournament. Right. So like I'm not angry. I just come away with just winning 1 unit. It doesn't feel like a lot for my whole entire, but like I've done very well betting in this tournament. So I'm completely cool with if that's what ends up happening. If just make a unit and we're all good, fine. I'm not losing money tonight. That's my whole goal. I guarantee that I'm not losing anything.
Right. And I mean, this will be a good test. Like you'll be able to see what you can do.
Right.
With when you have a position on both sides, it's the best. I mean, it's just like as the game's going, you're adding to the worsening position if you want, or accentuating the ahead position.
I've seen a lot of
this is perfect, Joe T. Yeah. Look, I got a Florida plus 950 and a Houston plus $4. Enjoy the game.
Need to do anything. Yeah, you don't need.
You can add to that and like, add a little Houston, cost average it down. Listen, what's going on in the market right now? There's people that look at this as a buying opportunity.
Right.
Right. When the stocks go down and stuff, I know people that are literally trying to buy as much as they possibly can. Yes.
It's the Warren
Right.
Buffett theory. Go the opposite direction what everyone's doing. Just get out when people are buying in and
Right.
get in
What
when
does
people
it
are
say?
getting out.
Be greedy when everyone's fearful, and be fearful when everyone's greedy. Something like that. I forget.
Yeah,
the
that's the
exact-
Buffett school. I mean, Warren Buffett, there were 25 billionaires that lost money last quarter. Warren Buffett made money. He was the only one.
Guy's a magician.
Yeah.
But I mean that's
Oracle
a
of Omaha.
buying opportunity. Well, you got plus 950 on one side and plus $4 on the other. And if this game has 8 lead changes, 10 lead changes going back and forth, you're just piling up on each side. And then you get to the end and you
Right.
decide, like, all right, somebody's up 6, and you start buying the team that's losing, like Houston the other night. You make a gigantic score and not risking anything.
Yeah. So that's where I'm leaning towards your theory of buying 2 units early and then coming in and taking 2 units and betting with that in game on Houston. And
If you buy it at minus 105 and they get down 6, and then you buy it at plus 280 or whatever, your average price is now, I mean, it's still plus $2 or whatever, depending on how much you weigh on it. That's the thing. Like when you do that number stuff quickly, the more you do it, the more you practice. Do it for $2 a piece. Like, I tell people this all the time. You can make in-game bets for $1 or $2.
Right.
Just do it during a game,
like
an NBA game. Don't do it during a hockey game. Is tough because nothing happens.
Right.
Do a soccer game is tough. Nothing happens. Do it where there's a zillion lead changes and different things happening, and there's 30 different prices like in 15 minutes, and you can really figure out what to do.
Yeah. Always bet in commercials though. Regardless of what sport, always bet during commercials.
You have to know the latency issue.
Yeah,
there's
bet.
Kyle 305. Good to see you in here, brother. Got UF, which is Florida, plus 16-1. Houston 10-1. I'm chilling this game. I like first half under though.
It's nice.
Perfect. Okay.
I mean, I'm so mad at myself because I had a 20-1 ticket for Florida that I was going to buy, but I thought they would lose at Auburn, and I got greedy. And I said, all right, they're going to lose to Auburn.
That was the game.
It's going to go up. It's going to go up to 25-1 or 30-1.
It would have.
And then they won by 9. They went in
chopped in half.
Yep, and I got 10.
The price got chopped in half.
That's why I bought 10. After that game, I went, oh, son of a, I got to buy it now because it's going to nothing but go down. And I got greedy. So like it was a good lesson for me of when you like a ticket, just buy the damn thing. Like don't wait, because if they lost that game, I was like, okay, I'm going to get 25, 30-1. Yeah. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to have a great ticket on Florida. Now they won the game by 9 and the number went to 10. And I was like, son of a, and then I bought it. So that's how I got the 10-1.
Auburn was a 10-point favorite.
11-point favorite. And they won by 9. That was the star game for me of like, that's the best team in the country. Like that's the best team in the country. Like they're going to go to the fight. Like,
and then Saturday they were 3-point favorites. Florida was a 3-point favorite. Look at that freeze face. Holy crap. What is that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Florida was only, it was 2.5. It wasn't 3. It's 2.5.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they went and won the game. I mean, they won the game by what, 6? I mean, they were down most of the game. So like the number looked good for a while. And then I think the injuries for Auburn, I think Broom was not healthy.
Everything caught up. Everything caught up.
Yeah. I think the hand injury for Mazzara got bad. And like,
just
everything was bad. So,
wasn't bad for the Celtics over the weekend, was it?
I forgot that I was an Aries for a second. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I mean, I forgot. I have no way. Have you met me? I'm like the most classic Aries of all time. Like literally, like look up the definition of what an Aries is, and that's me. Like, problem is Amanda's birthday is Wednesday, so she's as classic Aries as I am. So you know how that goes. We're brawling with each other on those things. So it's fun to listen to us argue. The Celtics set the record for the most 3-pointers in an NBA season. They beat the Wizards. They have 4 games left. They have hit 1,394 threes. That broke the record set by the Warriors a couple of years ago. Got 4 games left. They take 63s a game. They're going to wind up destroying this record.
It's not even a record anymore. And this, I don't know if this will be broken. Like the way they're shooting. You think?
Yeah. So the NBA, the way the NBA is being played right now, will be broken next year probably. If the Celtics win it again, okay, if they go back to back, the entire NBA is going to look like Joe Mazzulla's offense.
Really?
They're all gonna play that way. Yeah, it's a copycat game like everybody else. It's copycat. Just go ahead and watch them go and jack threes. Every kid coming out of college is going to be 3-point shooters, and the game's is going to be played that way.
I don't know.
Until the next
Shaquille O'Neal, good or bad, but maybe you're right.
It's bad. But until the next Shaquille O'Neal comes into the league, where we see a dominant big man who is so physical that he'll go back to the basket and dunk on your head every single time and be unstoppable, that will change the game when that happens. The problem is the big men who are coming in are all the Chet Holmgrens and the Wembayamas, and they're 7'2", but they're sticks. They're not actually big humans. Jokic is a big human, but he loves to pass and do other things. He's not so much of a back to the basket player, but you need a Shaquille O'Neal type center, and then things will change. But until then, no, this game's not changing.
So we should be rooting against the Celtics then?
In a way, yeah. I mean, if you don't like the style of play, I like the style of play. This is how I played basketball.
Would you like it if it wasn't your team?
Yes, because this is how I played. This is how I played. I played AAU up tempo. The teams I played in college, the teams I played in basketball, we didn't run offensive sets. We wanted to shoot as fast as possible. We wanted to run as much as possible and shoot as many threes as possible. Like that was the philosophy, because we were, white kids from Andover, Mass. So we couldn't really contend with the athletes that we were playing up against. So we tried to beat them with just get down the court and shoot threes.
So you never dribbled up the court and held up two fingers?
I did, but it was when you're trying to kill time. It's when you had a lead. It was all bleeding the clock. Okay. We never did it when we, in the first half, we never did that. No, never. That was always get the ball either off the rim or get the ball out of the basket and go as fast as possible. And then get to the threes, dribble, drive, kick, three. That was our offense. It was called a motion offense. That's what we called it. It was just motion. It was just all, pass the basketball, run through, find an open three and take it. That was the offense.
It's crazy because YMCA basketball.
Pretty much, that's what it was. Pretty much. It was AAU, but it was pretty much, that was just, from when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way through, that's how we played. So I like the Celtics style, but if you like sets, if you watched Coach McDermott at Northern Iowa, he had a football book full of plays,
right?
300 plays that he ran.
Yeah.
That was his style. Bleed the clock. Very similar to how Drake played and how Iowa's going to play.
I was a point guard as long as I played, would look at the coach. He'd signal a number. I'd hold up the number while I was dribbling, say 3, let's go, wait for the guy to set the first pick, make a pass, run through, do whatever. Everybody, we did these plays over and over and over. You do it on the left side, do it on the right side, depending on who was that's crazy. I don't just playing a basketball game with no plays. It's the modern day.
It was a play, but it was more like 1, 2, 3 pass shoot. Like it wasn't like we didn't look. There wasn't like the Norman Hale, every player has to touch the basketball before you shoot rule. Like we didn't have that.
Right.
like there was none of that stuff.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
So they're gonna break the record, obviously, and they're gonna shatter it.
They already broke it. It's already they broke it.
But yesterday. I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Although, are they trying? Are they trying these last 4 games? Are we shooting 30, 40, 53?
Yeah, because the guys that they play instead of Porzingis and Jaylen Brown
do the same thing.
Shoot more.
Do the same thing.
They shoot more. I mean, it's Peyton Pritchard. That's all the guy does is shoot threes. So the players that get more run shoot. I mean, Baylor Shireman, the Creighton kid that they drafted in the first round, all Baylor does is shoot threes. So it's going to be more 3-point shooting, not less, because they're going to sit the stars. The offense is just going to become more on a 3-point shooting basis for Boston. Just chicken. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, chuck. Yeah, that's what but they aren't chucking. They're hitting it though. I mean, they might be chucking it, but they're hitting it way more often. So I put this on for our friends in Detroit.
Tell them
the Pistons can finish no worse than 6th in the East.
That's awesome.
I mean, the Lions are good. The Tigers were good last year. And now the Pistons are good. Red Wings aren't bad either.
Tigers are good this year.
Nah, I think the Tigers are going to stink. Sorry. I think the whole entire American League Central stinks.
Tigers are going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because someone's got to win the division. So sure, but like, not as a wild card though. They're going to win the division.
I don't know. We'll see. But yes, the Pistons being good. Welcome back. 3-1-3. It's great. Now, can they win a series?
I mean, if Cade is healthy, sure. I mean, they got to get healthy.
Who's the 3 seed right now?
Right now,
type it in the chat. I think I know.
Isn't
it
it the Bucks? Hold on. 3 seed at the moment are the Knicks.
Hello.
Knicks.
Hello.
Pistons Knicks is a fun series.
Ooh, baby.
Well, wait, hold on. No.
If it's 3-6.
Yes, you're right. Correct. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, because Cavs are going to play the winner of the 9-10 game, and the Celtics are going to play the winner of the 7-8 series. It's so funky how they do that with the play-in tournament.
Celtics get the 7.
7-8. Yeah. Winner. They could play the 7 or the 8. Yeah. And then 9-10 plays the Cavs.
No. 9-10 plays a game to then play the loser of the 7-8. And then that team is the 8 seed. So.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So
the 9-8 has to win 2 games to get in. Yeah. Either way.
So Boston plays. So Celtics would wind up most likely. So if Orlando plays the Hawks.
Orlando wins, then Celtics get Orlando.
What if the Hawks win?
Well, then the Hawks
play the Celtics?
No. Yeah, the winner of that game
is the 7 seed.
Yeah,
is the 7 seed. Okay. Yeah. And then the loser goes and plays the winner of the Bulls and the Heat.
Correct.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's how that works. And then that's the 8 seed that plays the Cavaliers.
Correct.
So Knicks and Pistons. Okay, there we go. So Knicks and Pistons will be that series. That's a good series. Again, is Cade going to be healthy?
I hope so. But yeah, Leg Show Magazine, you're right. The Knicks were without Brunson for a while. Their record is deceiving. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, all this bing bong and all this other stuff that the
Brunson's back, though, right?
They didn't beat a good team the whole year. Just for the record.
The Knicks didn't?
Right? No. They didn't beat a good team, meaning Celtics, Cavs, or who was the other one? All of their games against those teams.
I mean, they beat Denver. They beat Denver. Which is yeah.
Forget what the stat was. I think they're 0-12.
Sounds right.
Cavs, Celtics, and
OKC.
No.
I mean, they lost Oklahoma City 2 times. They lost both times to OKC. They lost to the Warriors. They lost to the Lakers.
Yeah. Big trouble.
Lost to Lakers both times. OKC both times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stink against the West.
All the good teams.
They really do stink against the West.
Yeah.
Against the Pistons, 2-1 Detroit. They got 1 game left coming up on the 10th of April.
Be careful. Be careful, Knicks. It's fun.
Well, if Cunningham's if he's healthy,
the Red Wings aren't going to make the playoffs, so somebody has to make the playoffs. I don't think so.
That stinks.
Yeah, that was a nice run.
Too bad for them. But that was a fun little skirt. You wearing the Blue Jay hat. Vlad gets locked down. 14-year deal, $500 million. Can we say hi, Albert Pujols? What is this?
Wait a second. You're calling this the Pujols contract?
This is the Pujols contract. 14 years? Who are you giving a 14-year contract to? I'm not giving a 14-year contract to anybody, let alone a dude who can't keep his weight down. This is nuts.
What do you mean? He's in tremendous shape right now.
This is nuts. This is an absolute insanely dumb contract. This is simply by the public pressure in Toronto, where over the weekend, when the Mets were hosting the Blue Jays, Mets fans were literally giving standing ovations to Vlad Jr. every time he's at the plate, praying for him to come to New York. Like that, this is just a reactionary knee jerk. If I'm a Blue Jay fan, I'm happy about this, but this is a stupid contract. This is dumb.
This is straight from MLB Network.
Yep.
So Vlad is 26 years old.
Okay. He'll be 40 when the year's up, when it's done.
This is the third largest deal in Major League Baseball history, trailing only Juan Soto, who got 15 years, $765 million, and Shohei Ohtani, who got 10 years, $700
because I put Vlad in the same category as those two players too, by the way.
Which is why I said it the way I said it. If you would have said who's going to be third behind these two, I don't know how many people would have said, well, the Jays are going to pay Vladdy. Wow. 26. He is younger than Albert was when he got his deal.
Okay.
It's a long contract.
38, 39, and 40-year-old Vlad. Enjoy it. That's going to be an unbelievable contract to have. Enjoy that.
It's going to be rough. Those ones are going to be. But you get the best 10, right? 26 to 36. I think a 10-year deal would have been probably a little more.
With who around him? Who are they going to put with him?
Well, now isn't the pressure on the Blue Jays to make sure that he's not Mike Trout and sitting out there floating around up in Toronto?
The Blue Jays had a shot. They had a moment where they could take advantage of having it not be the Red Sox and the Yankees, and they blew it. They had the last 4 years, and they blew it. The Red Sox farm system is so deep. The Red Sox team is going to be the next 5 years. Good luck. The Yankees are always going to be the Yankees. They're always going to spend. They're always going to have the top talent because it's the Yankees in New York. And oh yeah, by the way, the Orioles aren't going anywhere. The Rays have the best farm system again in baseball. They've got 5 prospects.
Allegedly.
They got 5 kids. The Rays are psyched about what's going to happen about the kids that they've got coming up. They got players waiting to join the big league roster. The Rays are going to be back very soon. The Blue Jays, this is such a reaction to the fan base that we can't let him walk and go because he's going to go play in New York or Boston, and we can't handle that because he said it outwardly. I'm going to go play in New York or Boston. So like Toronto went, oh, shoot, what are we going to do? Pay him. And they give him $500 million for 14 seasons.
It was close. You almost said it.
Yes.
You're the favorite to say the first swear word today. It was a pick 'em. I mean, you were minus 115. I was minus 105. So Will's on the button.
Bad. Wait. This is a bad contract.
Salary cap in baseball is more than it's more evident than ever. It needs to be done. Something needs to be done. I don't know. I have to go read a book on how Pete Rozelle got the NFL owners to agree to split the money because it made it competitive in places like Green Bay, who would have been never able to do this. There's Will right there. Good to see you, Will. I was celebrating UConn all night. Please don't be me work.
Make me work. Make me work.
We knew what you meant with the. That's fine. We're not. We got a clean
show so far. You're all good.
Yeah, it's going to be a clean show till bonus time, and we're gonna try to get the whole show in 140 anyway. I don't know, man. I saw it last night. I thought, first thing I thought was I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. Is this real?
You're right.
Is this real? I mean, like social media. I thought. Right. Wait, is this he was just in New York and all of this happened and somebody in the front office said, that's it. I don't want to hear about this no more. Give him the money. Shut the hell up. Let's lock him in. There's going to be a 16-year
deal. He wanted a 16-year deal. He asked for a 16-year contract and they came out of 14, like with a straight face. So like, I want a 16-year contract. 16-year contract. What are we doing? Like, this is nonsense. 16 years.
I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Yeah, and no deferrals. Right. This is no deferrals.
No deferrals with Georgie Mason. What does that mean?
He can't opt out. There's no deferrals. He's not deferring any money. This is all money he's being paid.
Oh, so he's just right. He's not getting this like Shohei in 20 years.
14 years. I agree. A lot can happen in 14 years, like injuries, like you can eat yourself out of the league. Like,
pause. What?
Hey, You can.
Oh, eat yourself out of the league. I stopped hearing you after you said eat yourself. And I was like, what
this is a guy who does not, weight issues are not an uncommon problem for this guy.
If I'm him, all right, you signed a deal. Now you got the money. Please go get a couple other guys or keep the guys we got. Like, you're just going to let Bichette walk now? Like, you're just going to go, like, let's go get an ace pitcher to lock down the rotation. I don't know. Like,
it's hard to get anyone who wants to play in Toronto. It was funny. I was watching an NBA podcast with guys who were talking about the Raptors, and they were like, I forget which podcast it was, but they were saying Toronto is arguably a top 5 city in the NBA to live and work in. But to work in the NBA, to have to come and go through customs every time you go on a road trip. And also, like the guy said, he's like, I'm going to be real here. He's like, it's hard to get women to come up. It's hard to bring them up. It's hard to get your friends and your family to come up. They don't want to leave the country. They don't want to go through all that. It's a pain in the ass. They don't want to have to deal with that. So that is a major factor versus a Miami, a New York, an LA. When you're talking about where you want to go play as a free agent, Toronto is an awesome city. It just doesn't fly with free agents because of the logistical problems that come with being up there. And, oh yeah, by the way, you're paid in Canadian money and you got to get paid in American money. And that's a whole problem.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of issues with it up there. So, there's a lot of issues. Problematic. Yes. Sure. Kristen, if you grew up in the South and you got a bunch of women you want to fly up to, people that you like to see, and you got to fly them up to Toronto, it's a pain in the neck. And they said it. The guy said it. Like, it's hard to get the things you want. It's easier to put your friends and family on planes, and the people you're seeing, get them on planes. If you take Paul Skeens for a second, right? His girlfriend's in LSU. He's in Pittsburgh, right? She's still in LSU. She's a 6th-year senior, still on the gymnastics team.
Right.
If she was being flown to Toronto every single other weekend, it would be a pain in the ass. That's hard. It's easier to go to Pittsburgh. It's inside the country. So that's
flying commercial.
No, even flying private. You still have to go through customs. Like you're still dealing with customs. Like it's not as easy as getting off an airplane and just walking off the plane and going where you got to go. You got to wait in the customs line. Look at here in Vegas 2 weeks ago, there was one desk on a Saturday night for customs. The line was 3 hours to get through customs in Vegas. Imagine flying 5 hours from parts of Mexico and Canada, come to America, and you wait 3 hours just to get into the damn country.
No,
that would suck.
Not good. No, I'm not really excited about that.
Pain in the ass to have that happen. So it's hard to get people who want to go play in Toronto. And I good luck to the Blue Jays. Manfred is on record now. The torpedo bats are absolutely good for baseball.
Torpedo bats are good for baseball.
Do you agree?
Do we know enough about torpedo bats to make statements like this?
I think if I'm him and I'm looking at the bigger picture, we're talking about baseball. And when you're talking about baseball, that's a good thing. So if I'm the commissioner, my job is to make baseball a conversation point.
Okay.
The bats have been a conversation point. People are watching and paying attention. People are betting based upon who's using a bat and who's not using a bat. So for that reason, I think he's probably right. It is good for baseball.
I think it's good. It's good for the game that something innovative is being discussed. Yeah. It's not the be all end all yet. Like, we have to caution that these bats are going to change everything, because we've seen things or heard things that are going to change everything before, and then good pitching still finds a way to win. Good defense still finds a way to win. You still have to be able to hit the ball over the fence to be a home run, and et cetera, et cetera. So
right.
I don't know. Like, is it good for baseball? What was he going to say?
Well, I think you could say that it would be needed to be researched as to whether or not they're legal. I mean, you could have said a bunch of stuff about it, but he said it's good for baseball. Absolutely. It's good for, I tend to agree with him because, again, I think it's about publicity, and I think people are talking about it, and there are some numbers to back it up, but the bats, according to a lot of the old timers, are saying, guys, this is nothing new. Like, these have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Like you guys are just this whole MIT research stuff. Okay. There's still guys who are using it, and there's still guys who are hitting, exit velo of 102, 103 miles per hour with a regular bat.
There's a lot of people that are either used to be baseball fans or just grew up not really being a baseball fan, that this isn't in. Like, I just looked down and saw Addison the Ranch, his comment, still waiting for the first thing that gets me to watch a baseball game this year. Torpedo bats didn't do it.
Okay.
I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are in that type of mentality where, okay, that's great. Is that do I want to watch yet? No. It's not going to, I mean, is it going to turn fans on back to baseball?
Maybe with offenses. And I mean, the Red Sox scored 18 runs last night.
Did you watch that whole game?
Every damn second.
Did you really?
Every damn second.
I mean, once it got to be double digits, I was
every
like,
damn
yeah,
second.
come on. Really?
I mean, this is fun. Okay. As a Red Sox fan, I told you I'm back in on baseball. So I'm 100% back in. Rafael Devers and Alex Bregman last night combined, they went 8 for 9 with a home run, 4 doubles, 9 RBIs, and scored 6 runs.
Yeah.
But the reason why I put this up.
You think he's worried about playing third base anymore?
Nope, not anymore. That storyline's dead.
Right?
We're gone there. Rafi went 4 for 4 last night. We're all good. And with a walk. And in the first game, he walked with the bases loaded to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. Unbelievable plate discipline by Devers to take a walk, tie the game. Red Sox won the game 5-4 by Wilyer Abreu, who at 150-1, Dave. How do you feel about this? 150-1 MVP for Wilyer Abreu of the Red Sox.
I think you need to slow your roll a little bit. I mean, it'll be a fun ticket if he keeps doing this.
So Wilyer Abreu in the first 10 games of an American League left-handed batter to have 14 hits or more, 3 or more home runs, 12 or more RBIs, 10 or more runs scored, and 8 or more walks. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Ty Cobb, and Wilyer Abreu for the Red Sox. That's your list.
Nice.
In the first 10 games. Did you see the throwout he had last night?
I did not.
Okay. Alex Cora called it one of the best throws he'd ever seen in his life. 91 miles an hour out of the hand. Dead to rights. Got a guy who he got the ball when the Cardinals runner had already turned second base, and he gunned him down at third. Laser. He's got the defense. He's going to be on a good team. And the numbers, he had the walk-off hit already. He's already had that moment. That was yesterday.
Right.
Had the walk-off highlight throw yesterday. That was yesterday. And the numbers are stupid. He leads the American League right now in slugging and OPS.
It's April 7th.
I agree. It's early.
It's April 7th.
He's
Take
above
a breath.
Judge. Judge had a historic start to his career. He's better than Aaron Judge. Judge is second. Abreu's one. Like, hold on. Like, just saying. 150-1 is 150-1.
No question. Again, you buy a lot of tickets with great prices that go right in that CLV can.
Fine.
I'm not saying it's going to, but is it worth? I mean, where's he hitting in the lineup?
7th.
Let's try to find it. Last time a 7 hitter.
Oh, he's going to be way high. He's going to grow up. I mean, Cora just puts him down there because he needs help down there. The top of the lineup is Red Sox lineup right now. Okay. Overs at Fenway Park. Over today against the Blue Jays. Over. They're going to score so many runs at Fenway. Alex Cora is the best right-handed hitter for Fenway Park, maybe ever. His numbers.
Whoa.
I'm just telling you, look at the numbers.
Control.
I'm not out of control. It's with 75 plate appearances. It's Ted Williams and Alex Cora. Sorry, and Alex Bregman. That's it. That's your list for numbers. Last night he was yesterday during the game too. He's played 5 games at Fenway Park so far this year. His numbers are ridiculous. Right. The swing is perfect for Fenway. Perfect.
This is great. Jimmy Jack said this is the Boston lunacy party of
it's not lunacy at all. It's not even close to being.
It is.
Bregman is unbelievable.
Find this and then watch it back, and you're going to go, all right, maybe I went a little over the
No.
top with this one.
He's batting .341 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs and 15 hits so far. His numbers coming. This is why they signed him to the deal and gave him $40 million.
Oh, no question. This is exactly what they want him to do. This couldn't have gone better for an opening weekend for a new guy coming in when they haven't really spent money, and they said, let's go get this guy, and then we're going to put Devers on the bench and just hit. Like,
he's played a couple unbelievable plays at third base too. So the questions are over.
Yeah.
Like we're not moving Bregman from third. Like Bregman's playing third base all summer. Like he ain't moving. Like we're not even touching him right now.
I mean, at this point, like if you're from Boston, and if you are and you like the show, please again hit the like button. And whether you think Matt is a masshole or not, or whatever it is,
that's fine. I'm okay with that.
If you don't at this point think Cora is a good manager,
agreed.
Like it's over. Like you are never gonna like anything. If you, I mean, because I can say it from a baseball fan and somebody on the outside, I would want that guy every day.
Cora's unbelievable. I agree. He's great. They locked him down. I mean, the Red Sox have made a lot of dumb, like I said about the Blue Jays. The Red Sox the last 5 years have been, I almost said it, sorry, Will, but stepping on their own, you know what? And they can't get out of their own way. Okay. Trading Mookie Betts, letting Bogarts go. Like they've made so many mistakes that now you start looking and going,
foot? Were you talking about a foot?
Yeah, the third leg. And so like all of the things that have gone on over the last couple of years, and you're like, you guys can't get out of your own way. They locked down Alex Cora. Instead of firing him like everyone was a rumor, they locked him down. They go, hey, we're giving you an extension. You're our guy. The Abreu situation, they traded Christian Vasquez for him 2 years ago, and everybody freaked out because Vasquez was like this unbelievable player for them, and he was, but he was a backup catcher. And they got Wilyer Abreu, who now is your starting right fielder, who has had a hell of a start to the year. You've got this 1-2-3 situation. Jared Duran is doing things that we haven't seen before, leading the league in doubles and triples. It hadn't happened for like 30 years. So he's your leadoff hitter. You've got Devers now, who clearly has figured it out, batting second. You have Bregman batting third. That 1-2-3 at Fenway is going to be incredibly hard to deal with all summer long. Got to stay healthy. But that's a really hard 1-2-3 with speed, power, and both in Alex Bregman. After that, there's going to be a conversation piece. But, I mean, Christian Campbell, they locked him down. He's at the bottom of the order. He looks like a baby Mookie Betts. Like he's got that same wiry build. He can play all over the field just like Mookie could and can. So,
geez, if this all goes bad this year and you guys win 77
ain't happening.
games, you're going to...
Ain't happening. Only way that happens if pitching falls apart. It won't because of the offense.
Right.
It will fall apart because of the pitching. I'll give you that. Look, if Crochet got hurt, the back end, the kid that pitched last night, though, made his major league debut, Dobbins, looked good. Like that kid looked pretty good. One start, but he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's going to be bet overs. Like I said, Red Sox at home, the overs at Fenway Park are back for both the opposing team and the Red Sox.
Lucas and Fitz tonight. 8.5 is the total.
Yeah, bet the over.
Okay.
Bet the over. Fitz is supposed to be good too. You're right. But again, these are unproven kids coming up pitching at Fenway, which you have to learn how to do that. So it's
our poll, by the way, tonight for the championship game is exactly 50-50 right now so far. If you guys are watching the show, go hit that little button up at the top.
That's
where it says
crazy.
Top messages and vote in the poll. We need to decide her before the show's over here.
Right. Tonight, Evaldi and Steele. How about 6? You want to go to the game tonight, Dave? Good tickets are still available at Wrigley Field. 19 degrees at first pitch tonight.
I love baseball, but there's no chance in hell I'd go to this game.
15 to 20 mile per hour winds.
Hell no.
6. The total is 6.
I saw JC from KC. Thank you for tweeting at us. I'm at Sports Beat Cake and Sig, and Matt is at Sports Talk Matt. You guys tag the show. You do a great job with that at Boston versus the book. CBW does it. JC from KC does it. What's the lowest total I ever made in a game? I thought it was 5.5.
Oh my. Like
6 is low, but there was a Kershaw game against Lincecum or something. And I think we used 5.5. I love the Cubs, and I won't go Chicago, Kristen. Hell no.
It's a night game. No. I went to a day game last April when it was 40 degrees for the Dodgers and the Cubs.
And
but
you
that was
said
during
you
the day.
froze your cojones off.
We were awful, frigid. I mean, Amanda had a blanket and she was still freezing cold. Like, it was cold. It was awful. But that was during the day. At night, oh my, no way. Like, that is
hard pass.
No. That is a hard pass.
Baseball is meant to be watched in the heat.
Yeah. Not in the freezing cold. No, thank you.
JR 33312, Johnny Parlay. It was freaking cold Tuesday through Thursday at Las Vegas Ballpark. They announced 4K each night. There wasn't 2K Tuesday and Wednesday. I was gonna come. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, Johnny. Sorry.
Cheap price of the Dodgers against the Nats. Dodgers went to the White House today, so they may be a bit distracted. Minus 180? Really? I know Gore's pretty good, but
lost 2 or 3 to the Phillies.
I know, but that was the Phillies.
Yes, sir.
That's not the Nats.
No,
it's the Phillies.
No. Yeah. What are you looking for a side on this game?
Dodgers.
Yeah, it's
Dodgers. They're winning this game today. They're beating the Nationals.
I would think so. Yeah.
They may take out some frustration on them too.
Did they sweep?
Probably.
They probably win 2 or 3.
Okay. We'll win the series. You can bet that. Well, they should win the series. And then finally, Blue Jays, Red Sox, like I mentioned, it's only 8.5. Weather's not great, but I mean, again, the Red Sox are red hot and the Blue Jays can't pitch either.
Wow. Just moved to 8.5 minus 120 just now at Superbook. So somebody's watching the show. Somebody just bet it.
Over. Yeah.
Bet the over. I don't know. No, they bet it under.
Oh, bet the over. Moved in from 9 to 8.5?
Oh, 8.5 flat to 8.5 minus 120. So that means they took a limit play on under.
Just like I was on Sports Grid on the first game, and it was the Red Sox kept on stranding runners on first and second, and they bases loaded, kept on stranding. I was like, keep betting over. It was
right.
It opened it was 9.5. I said bet over 9. It went to 8, went to 7, went to 6, went to 5.5. I said bet it all. Bet it all over. And the Red Sox, I go, this is all about the bullpens. 5-4 final. Like,
so you got all the adjusted numbers.
Yeah. Everything.
It fell on the closing number.
Fell on the closing number 9.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like I was like, just go ahead and
it looks so cold in Detroit right now. It's flurrying. They're all wearing masks, neck, warmers, gloves. Yeah. It's 3-0 Tigers over the Yankees right now. That's good.
Baseball's not to be meant to play in the cold, as we have said before. I would entirely completely agree about that. Report from our friends at casinoreport.com. Michigan now enters into the fray about prediction markets. Michigan joining Massachusetts and Connecticut in examining the vertical without taking any action. But as Chris Altruder wrote in the headline, yet more states, Dave. It feels like the walls are closing in.
Right before the show, Maryland added this. I feel like we were on the cutting edge of this discussion.
Yep.
The first day, and said some things on the show that were 100% true with no regard for anything but the truth, which is what we do on the show every single day. And we got politicians following us. We got lawyers following us. And we got a lot of things coming after it. And I'm not saying...
I really hope that Representative Titus comes on, because I've reached out to her people, and she has an open invitation because she's the one in Congress who really is looking to push this and have this conversation. She wants a federal investigation into this. And I think it's rightfully so. I think there should be a conversation on the federal level, because it is being sort of looked at state by state, but not being talked about nearly enough on the federal side, because that's what they're claiming. It's a federal situation, not a state-by-state situation, which I disagree with. But okay, let's talk about it in both sides, federally and state-wise.
I think it's a very worthwhile discussion that needs to be had before anything else proceeds. I mean, last week, Hawaii got the next step to, possibly having sports betting. Now, Georgia and Arkansas both died on the vine, so they don't have another shot at it until next year at the end of the year, whatever this is. There's nothing happening state-wise 2025 in those states. But federal-wise, this has to be discussed. And she did start following. She's here in Nevada. Nevada has the cease and desist. There's Michigan's open investigation. Maryland, literally right before the show, said, yep, we're sending it too. Piling on is one thing, but man, like we're going to have Wallach on at some point to talk about it, you know, as a lawyer, which neither one of us are. Make that perfectly clear. But you can read between the lines of this thing.
And I mean, tonight we have the national championship game, which Kalshi is actively, and I mean actively, marketing in Nevada to people.
Yeah.
I get it on my phone all day long.
Oh.
Yesterday, today, I got it on LinkedIn. I got it on Instagram. I got it on Twitter X. I'm getting it on multiple platforms. Like they are geo-targeting into the state of Nevada, into the city of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And if people are using it, if people are using the offers that they are putting out there, I have no idea how you do not consider that to be harming the license holders here in the state.
Right.
If I'm a license holder, if $1 is bet on Kalshi, I am pissed off. $1. I'm like, wait a minute, that dollar should have come to me. I'm paying taxes and license fees for that right to take that play.
Yeah. It's going to be a fight.
Oh, boy.
They're going to be a fight. Get us out here and we'll finish it in bonus time.
Without a doubt, there's going to be a fight. If you guys are watching on the replay, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. From SiriusXM and Sports Grid Television, we're back tomorrow, same place, same time. The rest of you guys who were live on YouTube and Twitter, bonus time starts now. Okay. Any finishing thoughts on that?
I think there's going to be a real fucking problem. We're bonus time now.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a real fucking problem. And again, this whole like,
you know what reminds me of? You know what reminds me of? It reminds me of when Uber and Lyft started here in Vegas, and they would go to the airport. And the cabbies who were paying for their medallions had baseball bats and beat the shit out of the cars that were Ubers that would show up to pick people up at the airport. And they had to figure out a way to make it work. They had to figure out a way to have technology coincide with, there's still guys who drive cabs and they're still licensed, but they had to drop down the license fees. People who are paying the taxes and paying for the medallions pay far less now than what they used to pay to the city, to allow Uber and Lyft to come in. And then there was taxes heavily on Uber and Lyft. So to make up for the competition with the loss of taxes, that is going to have to happen for Kalshi if they want to operate in states like Nevada.
38 states have sports betting.
Yep.
They all went through the process.
Yep.
Now you're going to come in and say that process is, we don't need to do that.
I think I actually disagree. I actually think that process will still happen. I do think they're going to have to be licensed. I think the license fees are going to be adjusted dramatically. You can't you can't charge them $10 million like Pennsylvania. Like, I think it's going to make people who have paid those fees sick.
Says you can be a book. You can be a book.
Right.
You have to pay a license fee to.
Well, the federal government or the state to operate in the state. I mean, if a state right, personally, I think if it goes to the Supreme Court, I think states' rights will prevail. I think this will be seen as a state's issue. And if it's going to be a state issue, then I think you're going to have the state's ability to geo and black it out and say, you can't operate here. The same way they've done it to Bovada and to the other, the other offshores, that you are not able to operate in our state. And if you do, we're going to basically put out warrants for the arrest of the people who are running your book. And if you ever step foot in our state, we're going to arrest you and try and prosecute you.
Okay.
So that's the only way, to me, it's the only way it actually, there has to be some compromise with this, because it doesn't look like the other side of the coin, if we don't have compromise on this, is you're going to have a book operating around the laws in a gray area, taking handle away from those people that paid millions to your state for licenses.
Who's watching all this from places far away going, wow, this is crazy.
Yep.
They ain't even talking about us no more. Where's the AGA in all this?
Great point. They are, well, I mean, in their defense, they believe that the government or the law needs to play out. Like the AGA has said statements that like they don't want to get involved in this because like if DraftKings or somebody else starts the prediction market, if everyone goes into this, they got to be careful because they can't have egg on their face going like, well, didn't you just say that you wanted nothing to do with this and now your people are all doing it? But they want the courts to rule on this. Like they want to have clarity.
Yeah, they want someone else to do it.
Yeah. But
but like
this is possible. Banks and credit card could have problems with Kalshi and Polymarket. That's possible.
Which is what ironically they did exactly to the guys down south.
And that's the only way you can right. It's the only way you can really stop it is you stop the money. Can't stop the act, but you can stop the money.
You just tell them what the rules are and they'll play by the rules. If you
yeah, but they change the rules all the time.
Then they change the rules, or they say, well, you have to get this license and play by our rules, and you do, and then they just make that whole it's a mess. There's going to be a problem. That's all I'll say. Right now, I see it every day. Our colleagues in the space are writing about this, or put a tweet out about it, or you hear a story on it. You're like, oh my goodness, this is gonna. It's going to change the outlook of everything before next football season.
If it's allowed to continue.
Okay.
If it's allowed to continue. Because people are going to want to know the difference between a prediction market and a bet. And you're going to have to define it.
Nick Tom just said it right here in the chat. I said this earlier, but Florida's Houston event contracts live on Robinhood in New York City right now. Florida's 53 cents, Houston's 48 cents. Okay. That's pretty close.
Does Kalshi case affect books like Fliff?
Bill Billy. I don't know.
It's difficult because the social casino, social sports book conversation is in a whole different part of this. What is legal and what is not conversation.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think the Kalshi case does because Kalshi is trying to say that they're a prediction market. They're using some of the same language as the social sports books are. But they're not doing where you buy coin, then go bet with that coin and then turn the coin in for money.
It's money.
Yeah, like that whole nonsense. They aren't doing that.
At some point, the simple question that will have to be defined, whether it goes all the way to the Supreme Court or not, to define it.
Yeah.
What is gambling?
Good luck.
Once we get the root of that in one sentence that we can all put on a t-shirt and said, this is gambling. And now we can all say, all right, now you're this. Yes, you are. You're this. Yes, you are. You're this. Yes, you are. Because they all are. Simple.
Not so simple, but yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that. We'll obviously we'll stay on this story. We're not going anywhere with it. Okay, better to book a time. We've already talked about the futures of what Dave has an 8-1 on Houston. I have a 10-1 on Florida. We're both going to play off of that tonight to guarantee profit, but we're both in very good positions heading into the national championship game. You like Houston to win? Yes?
I do.
I like Florida to win, but I am wavering dramatically. I've been on Florida, but I am really soft on this right now. I am beginning to believe that Dave's on the right side and that Houston's going to win this game, but we'll see. It doesn't really matter to me who wins, but I would like to put it this way. It would be fun if Houston wins. After all the talk of the SEC all year long, to have a Big 12 team win it would be interesting.
I will be the first one. I might come on to my SEC shirt tomorrow and say it just means more if Florida can get this done.
Well, it does just mean more. They had 2 of the 4. They had more in. They made runs. It wasn't
listen.
The SEC didn't embarrass themselves here this year.
Absolutely not. No.
They got themselves a champion, a team that won their bracket, 2 teams that won their bracket, got to the Final Four, and they played each other. Unfortunately, they faced off against each other. That's why you only have 1 left, and we'll see. But 78-73 was my call 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it is. I'll stick by it with a win. I like the over in the game, 78-73. But if Houston wins, the game's going under. First half, Houston, I got a half a point, plus 112. Better to book it.
Houston to be leading at halftime.
Or tied.
hate these first half bets and these one gamers like this.
It's hard.
Neutral site. I'd say bet it if I had to.
It's been a very
Not
good bet.
lovely.
It didn't hit last time. They were down by 6 to Duke
Yeah.
at half in the first half, but they hit a bunch of threes to make it look better. But it's now pick, by the way. This number now is a flat pick. Game's pick. First half's pick.
That's the number. I mean,
Yeah.
the game's a pick. The first half's a pick. Just let them bet. Just take the bets. This is absolute dream. I think matchup.
A's Padres in Sacramento over 8. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care about the weather. It's a launching pad.
King and Severino. Oh, there's no more 8s. It's all 8.5s.
Oh, okay.
If you're watching this now at 1:15 Pacific Eastern, 1:15 Pacific, 4:15 Eastern, getting a little bit late, or you're watching on the replay, you're like, there was no 8s. It's
I like
all
8:15.
I think 8. I think 8's good.
Yeah.
I think over 8.
If we go 9, then we're
This is a
8.5. 8.5 would be good too. But yeah, I think we're going to see offense tomorrow and Wednesday. The weather in Sacramento is 78 and 81. It's going to be hot. So it doesn't hit today. If it doesn't hit today, bet it again tomorrow. I'll bet it again tomorrow because we're getting offense in this building, in this ballpark. Favorite thing about today is what?
So over the weekend, popped around books, got to see some people in and out of town. That were here. Some are still here for tonight. So it was a lot of fun. So shout out like Stucky and Rexy and everybody. It was just fun hanging out, seeing boys and girls that are here just for the weekend. Again, it's always fun and good. But like over the weekend, Jess is working her ass off. She's got stuff going on at work. So it's been me and Kendall hanging out, and she decided to start with the NBA 2K. And said, bro, you want to play? And I said, well, yeah, but I got to learn the buttons. Like you're just not going to kick my ass. So there's a tutorial that she said, all right, you can do that and we'll play. So we play the first game. She picks the all-time Lakers team and lets me pick the Cavs.
Uh-oh.
She smoked me.
Obviously.
And I realized in the first quarter, I'm like, wait, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe, LeBron. Did you pick an all-time team? And she's like, yeah.
No,
okay, that's funny.
That's
so
cool.
we played, and then we matched up a couple all-time teams. I took the all-time Milwaukee Bucks team.
Okay.
It was fantastic. Oscar Robertson is amazing. It was really a lot of fun. But I lost again. But yesterday, after much studying, figuring things out, and leveling the playing field,
right?
We just picked normal teams. I got a dub. She's mad about it. Favorite thing about today is that rematch will happen tonight after dinner, after the basketball game is final. We'll be locked in, ready to go. Although my other favorite thing about today is she's so into baseball right now. She's watching baseball games nonstop. And I asked her why, because Jessica told me to ask her why. And she said, well, my boyfriend at school's a Dodger fan.
Uh-oh.
What the hell just happened? What are you talking about?
Uh-oh.
And Jess said, you remember that kid you met at Halloween? And I said, yeah. It's like he's a huge Dodger fan. So that's why she's watching the Dodger games every day. Not because she wants to know what the line is and who's pitching and who. She wants to talk to him at school. She started blushing. It was priceless. It was priceless. So turning into a Dodger fan, bailing on the A's because the A's can't win. Wait till her sister gets home and we go back to being an A's house.
Dodger fan. Uh-oh. Look out. Yeah. It's funny because my favorite thing about today too is it's about Madeline. But so one of the things I did as a kid was I wanted to play guitar. So I picked up the guitar for like a year. And I never stuck with it because I played sports. And so I was always out. I was always had practice. I was always like, I had school, I had sports, and then playing the guitar became third. So like I was 14 years old. My mom bought me, I remember Christmas morning, ran downstairs, had a gorgeous red electric guitar. I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. I was so happy and excited to get it. And then I never actually played it. My cousin owns a music store in Greenwich, Connecticut. And he might be the best Eddie Van Halen tribute guitar player like in the Northeast. Like he plays in a tribute band. They travel all over New England to play it.
Okay.
He's ridiculous. So Madeline comes to me on like Saturday morning and she says, I got to ask you a question. I'm like, okay. She's like, would you let me play the guitar? I'm like, why would I let you play the guitar? I'm like, yeah, I'll let you play the guitar. You want to play guitar? She goes, yeah, I want to play guitar. I'm like, all right. So I go to my cousin. I tell to my cousin, I'm like, hey, she wants to play the guitar. And he's like, oh, that's great. You know, Taylor Swift has got a lot of people involved. And Madeline sees this and she goes, make sure he knows I don't want to play it for Taylor Swift. And I'm like, oh, okay, why? And she starts firing off bands, my bands that she's been listening to for the last like 2 months. Unbeknownst to me. Like I had no idea that she was going through and she's like, well, I want to listen for this and for that and for this. And I want to play this song and I want to play that song. And I was like, okay, the world just comes full circle. Like this is, I was 14, she's 11. I'm like, if we get you a guitar, are we going to actually stick with it? She's like, I promise. She's like, I want to pay for it myself. And I was like, no, you're all right. So we go to Guitar Center, we go through and I'm going to buy it for my cousin, but like she was trying on different guitars. So now literally she won't leave me the hell alone every day. Are we buying my guitar today? We buying my car? Yes. Great. If she wants to play Pantera, I'm in, Addison. If she starts playing Walk, I would be the happiest dad on the planet. If she starts playing that, it would be tremendous if that were to happen. But make sure she wants to play a real guitar. Yeah. Yes. Make sure he wants to play a real. That's true. He did say, make sure. Yeah. A real guitar, not a fake guitar, not a little like tiny one. She wants like a real guitar. So I'll tell you guys later in the process how it goes. I have no idea if she'll be any good at it, but she has huge hands like me. I have really big hands. She's got really big hands. So I think we'll see what ends up happening. Oh, that's great, Chris. So tell me how the lessons go and where to go for lessons, because I got to get into that.
Started middle school, sixth grade, and had to pick an elective. She picked guitar. She played guitar for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Wow.
She hasn't touched it since she went to college. But she played, and I can tell you as a dad, it was one of the coolest things ever. You know, she was like, I'm like, you're the guitar playing softball player. Yeah, like it's just fun. And I used to, when you see the progress, it's great.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see.
Do it after a year, so what?
See, I thought about the same thing, Chicago Christian, but I want to support my cousin. I thought about the same thing, but my cousin runs a small business outside of New York City, and so like it's only like you can get a kid's learn a guitar for like $200 now. So it's not like it's heavy money. The lessons are way more expensive than the guitar is going to be. So like that's the bigger conversation point is so. If I get the person to teach her that I know somebody here in radio in Vegas. And I asked her, I was like, who would you have, teach? And she told me this person that's in a band that some people know about. And I was like, he's teaching kids. She's like, yeah, he's giving back. So it could be pretty cool to see who she winds up getting her lessons from if it works out. So we'll see today when she gets home from school today, when she's like, hey, where's my guitar? I'm like, we're not getting it yet. Like, hold on a second. We need to go ahead and do that. So guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate all of you as always. It's going to be a fun week. We'll recap the game tomorrow, and it's Masters week.
What's the final vote? Close that poll.
Final vote is 52% Florida.
Wow.
52-48.
All right.
Just again, I lean towards Houston. I predicted and bet Florida. I lean towards Houston, but I think we're going to be for a really fun game. We'll recap it all coming up tomorrow. Hope to see you all back tomorrow for another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book.